Today we're having a look at the Study Opportunities Prelim for 2018. Question 1. Word processing. We need to open the document One Brochure. 1.1. Change the picture and the text box on the cover page to be displayed as shown below by following the instructions under the screenshot. Firstly, we need to reset the picture. So click on the picture and go to the Picture Tools Format tab and choose Reset Picture. Secondly, we need to format the text box to appear as shown above. Note that no typing is required. Okay, so the problem is at the moment the text box is behind the picture. So let's see if we can bring it to the front. No, nothing happened. All right, let's see if something's wrong with the picture then. Okay, there is no send backwards, so that means the wrap text is set to be in line with text instead of behind text. So let's just change it to one of these. I think behind text is the easiest, and then we can send this one to the back. There you go. Then we need to remove the border of this picture. Shape outline, no outline. There you go, that looks like the example. 1.2. Reject the track change in the first paragraph under the heading Introduction. Okay, so when there's a track change, you don't actually have to go look for it. You can just go to the Review tab and click on Next. That way it will jump to the change. Now we found the change under Introduction and they said we should reject it. So I'm just going to click on Reject. And there I get the correct message. You'll note that I didn't have to switch on track changes to be able to reject something. Change the table of contents on the second page so that only entries where the headings were formatted with the heading 1 style or the heading 2 style are displayed. Okay, so we've got a table of contents there. I'm just going to stand inside it and go to the References tab, choose Table of Contents and go to Custom. We only want a heading 1 and 2 style to be displayed, so that means we can change the levels to 2. Okay, and then it's going to prompt us to replace this one. Yes, we want to replace it. And there we have only 2 levels. 1.4. Locate the list of tables under the heading Tables. Make the necessary change to ensure that when this list or field is updated, the first item in the list will be displayed as follows: Table 1, Open Days at Selected Universities. And then update the list. Alright, let's go see what it says at the moment. Okay, so this just says Open Days at Universities instead of Selected Universities. Alright, so let's go to this table. It's not necessary for me to go and find it. I can just press Control and click, and there it jumps to that. Okay, so this just needs to be Selected Universities. And then we can go back and update this. Locate the shaded paragraph under the heading Choosing the Right Course. Change the hyphenation setting so that only one word in this paragraph is hyphenated at the end of a line. Okay, so I'll select this paragraph, and on the Layout tab under Hyphenation, I can go choose that the option should be that only one line at a time may be hyphenated. 1.6. Edit the table under the heading Open Days on the third page as follows. Let's just find there you go, it's this one. Move the leftmost column headed Date so that it's located between the columns headed Faculties and Time. Right, so you just select the whole column by clicking at this with this black arrow at the top, and you can just click and drag it to right in front of Time. There you go. and ensure that the headings in the top row are displayed vertically in the center of their cells. Do not change the height of this row. Okay, that means that the layout should be vertical. Oh, but it's already vertically centered. So if that's not working, then it must be the spacing. The spacing after, if you clear that to be 0, then it will work. 1.7. Locate the hyperlink Appendix A under the heading Open Days. Edit the hyperlink so that it links to the appropriate bookmark. There it is. Edit hyperlink. And it should link to the appropriate bookmark. So there are the bookmarks placed in this document, Appendix A. 1.8. Display the paragraph and the image under the heading What It Is as shown below by following the instructions under the screenshot. First, we need to justify the text. Change the size of the image to exactly 4.5 centimeters wide and 3 centimeters high. Okay, so you'll see if you change it here, both of them adjust and only one of them should adjust. We want the height to be 3 centimeters. So we can go to the size dialog box and remove the lock aspect ratio tick box and change the height then to 3 centimeters. Now we can actually change it here as well because I've removed that lock. And ensure that no text is displayed at the right side of the image without moving the image. Now there are two ways of doing this. You can either change the wrap text options. Let's go choose that here to be only on the left side. Or you could crop it negatively. So if you crop negatively, you in other words basically make the image larger without adding anything and then changing it to tight or square. There you go. That could have worked as well, but the first option is probably the better one. 1.9. Adjust the image under the heading Intelligence, Aptitude and Interest so that it appears within an oval shape, more or less as shown below. Okay, so we need to change the shape. I think let's just crop it to a picture. Crop to shape, yes. Oval. 1.10. Change the list paragraph style in the document as follows. Change the color of the bullets used for the style to black. Okay, so we need to go find the, there it is, modify, right click modify. We need to change the bullet color to black, so let's just go to, it'll be under numbering I guess, hold on. Let's try that, bullets, there you go. Define new bullet font and change the font to black. Okay. And then set the bullets against the left margin. So let me just check quickly. Why does that look like blue now? Oh, I misclicked somehow. There you go. Or I chose automatic or something. Okay, just make it black. And then to change it to the left margin, or to align it to the left margin, is under paragraph. And that means we need to change this to 0. And then lastly, remove any shading from the paragraph style. So that we can do under border, shading, and change it to no color. Okay. 1.11. Apply the list paragraph style to the bulleted list under the heading Personality Traits, the Big 5. I assume it's this. Let's try that and see what changes. Ah, it's a different font. Okay. 1.12. Locate the first paragraph in the text box under the heading Personality Traits, the Big Five. Display the first line of the paragraph as shown below. Only the first few lines of the paragraph are shown. Okay, so this just shouldn't start here in the middle. It should start at the beginning. So that's also a paragraph option. We can just go open it over here or right click and choose paragraph. That's also fine, but it's a special indentation. So we'll just say none. 1.13. Make the necessary change to ensure that the heading Time Management will always remain together with a paragraph under the heading on the same page. Do not use the Enter key or a page break to achieve this. Okay, so the heading Time Management should stay with this paragraph without using an Enter or a page break. So we'll use a pagination option for that. So we'll select this line, right click paragraph, or we could have just opened paragraph from this dialog launcher over there. And we go to the line and page breaks and choose Keep with Next. Now, what Keep with Next basically does, if I switch on the show and hide here, is it locks this paragraph to the next paragraph. That's what Keep with Next does. Okay, so in this instance, it was only necessary to apply it onto this one paragraph. 1.14. Locate the text XXX under the heading Time Management. Replace the text with a cross-reference to Table 4 so that the sentence reads as follows. Jump to the table Enrollments and Graduation for a picture of the harsh reality. Okay, jump to the table what for a picture of the harsh reality. Okay, so I'll just select that, double click to select the whole text. And on the References tab, there's a cross-reference option. And we need to refer to a table. And it should be enrollments and graduations, but we don't want the label table and the number 4 to also appear. So we're going to choose, we just want the caption text because we don't want the label and the number. Close. And now you'll see one can actually control and click and jump to that table. Let's just fix that spacing. There you go. 1.15. Locate Table 4 under the heading Not So Great Expectations and do the following. 1.15.1. Edit the table so that it appears as shown below by following the instructions under the screenshot. Only the first few rows are shown. Okay, so we need to split the top left cell into 2 columns. Let's go have a look. It's the, which one? Table 4. There it is. Okay, Not So Great Expectations. Okay, so this first one we need to split into 2 columns. So I've just selected the whole cell by using my right pointing black arrow. And on the Layout tab, I can then choose Split Cells and choose it must be 2 columns. I'm going to remove the merging of the cells. There you go. Okay. Remove the diagonal borders from the top row. So I'll select these cells, go to the Design tab, and remove the diagonal down border. The data for the third column, undergraduate degree enrollments, has not been entered. The cells in this column are empty. Open the file 1UG degree enrollments and copy all the data from this file as required into the third column. Okay, so let's go find that. 1UG degree enrollments. Enable editing. Okay, but we've got a problem here because at the moment our Word document here is sorted alphabetically by university from A to Z, ascending. and this one is sorted from Z to A, so descending. So I think what I'll do first is I'm just going to switch this text to a table so that I can sort it, although it might not even, I don't even think that's necessary because it's in the starting position. Let's just choose that and see. Ah, there you go, it works. It wasn't even necessary to do that, but I guess if I just want to copy these now and I don't want to copy the first line, I'll have to switch it to a table. So I'm going to select the text, go to insert table, and just choose insert table. There you go. I'm just going to switch that off and copy this. And when I'm here, oh, the undergraduate degree enrollments, this one, hey? Now let's see what option will work the best. Nesting, definitely not. Merging, doesn't work. New rows, overwrite cells. There you go. That one works best. 1.15.2. Ensure that the column headings are repeated if the table flows over to the next page. So I'm going to select that first row and choose repeat header rows. But make sure you only apply that to the first row, otherwise it'll basically like keep the whole table on the same page, and that's not the right way to do it anyway. Add a formula in the bottom right cell of the table to determine the total numbers of the column in the column above it. The total must be displayed in the same format as the other totals in this row, even if the formula is updated. Alright, so I'll just want to show you, if I just insert a sum and I go put in a comma afterwards and I update this, you'll see it removes the comma. So I have to change the format of this before I insert it so that it doesn't change when it gets updated. So I'm going to choose formula and I need to go choose a number format. Now there isn't one that has the comma in already, but I'm going to choose this one. And instead of the space for the thousands, it should have a comma. So that should do the trick. There you go. And if I update this, it stays the same. 1.16. Locate the green placeholder, insert chart here, under the heading Not So Great Expectations. There it is. Okay. Replace the placeholder with a chart in the spreadsheet 1 enrollments. The chart must be pasted in the Word document in such a way that any changes made to the chart in the spreadsheet will be reflected in the Word document automatically. Okay, so I opened the 1 enrollments earlier by accident. So there we go. I'm going to right click and copy. And when I paste it, I can't choose one of these options. Weirdly enough, even though I choose the link option, it doesn't actually show that to the person who marks it. So the correct way to do that is actually to choose Paste Special, Link, Excel Chart Object, and choose OK. Now you'll see if I right click on this, it gives me the option to update the link. That's how I know I've done it correctly. Just another tip, you'll see I've kept the Excel document open before I actually pasted it. It closed it automatically afterwards, but I shouldn't close it before I paste it. 1.17. Locate the word fees under the heading Unexpected Expenses. There it is. Use a word feature to ensure that this word will be included in an index. Okay, so to do that, we go to the References tab and we mark it as an entry. They didn't specify anything else, so we just click on Mark. You'll see that switched on my show and hide, so I'm going to just go switch that off again. It doesn't really matter, but that's how an index entry is marked, with this little XE and the curly brackets. Okay, and then we need to go and insert an automatically generated index in the space provided under the heading Index on the last page using the default settings. References, Insert Index. Okay. 1.18. Change the diagram under the heading Unexpected Expenses so that it is displayed as follows. Do not change any colors. Success, manage your time and choose the right course. Aha. Okay, so firstly we need to add success at the top. So I'm just going to click on that and insert and enter so that I can type in success at the top. If that didn't show, you can just click on this little arrow over here and it will open up the text pane for you. And then we need to change the design of this, hey? So let's see. Ah, that looks like it. Luckily they gave us a nice easy one. Success, manage your time, choose the right course. Happy days. Locate the two dotted lines next to the text name and surname under the heading Appendix A. Use tab settings to change the lines to solid lines, each exactly 10 centimeters long. Okay, so to do that, we first need to switch on our ruler. That's always important to see when you're working with tabs. And then there's two ways of doing this. I'm just going to show you the one way of doing it. I can actually double click this one. If I click it correctly, it actually opens up the tab dialog launcher for me. If that doesn't happen or you're struggling to get it, you can go to paragraph and choose tabs as well. Just check that you actually select the correct lines before going to do this. Now we want to change the 15 centimeter tab stop to, they said exactly 10 centimeters long, so that must be 12 centimeters, and it has to have a leader line. So I'm going to choose set, and then I'm going to have to remove the 15 centimeter one because it wasn't possible to change that. I'm going to clear that one. Okay, 12 centimeter one is set to a solid line. Okay, there you go. So the other way would have been to actually just move that to 12 before you go, and then choose 12 centimeters and change it to a line set. 1.20. Locate the table for the cell phone number under the heading Appendix A. Change all the cells in the table to be exactly square, i.e. have the same height and width, without changing the height of the cells. Okay, so let's see what they are. I've just selected the whole table. You can do that by either clicking on this four-headed arrow or just selecting on the side. At the moment, their height is 1 centimeter, and they said we are not allowed to change the height of the cells, and they should be exactly square. So I'm just going to change the width to 1 centimeter. 1.21. Locate the bibliography under the heading Bibliography on the last page. Ensure that all the sources referenced in the document are displayed in the bibliography. Okay, I'm just going to update it and see if anything changes. Ah, okay, there's another one added, so that's probably what they wanted then. 1.22. Change the page numbering in the document as follows. On the second page of the document, the page on which the table of content appears, change the page numbering from format 1, 2, 3, etc. and start the numbering from 1. Okay, and we should not display a page number on the last page. Let's go have a look. So on the table of contents page, it's this one, yes. The number should be in the format of 1, 2, 3 and start at 1. So I'm going to right click and choose edit footer so that I'm inside the footer. Let's just see what's going on. Alright, there's already a different first page, so that's fine. So because it's the second page already, I don't have to put in a break or anything. I'm just going to change the format to AB2 1 2 3 instead of ABC, and I'm going to say start at. Now let's try. I'm going to try start at 0 so that this first page that's not numbered is actually page 0 and this one is page 1. Let's see if that works. So that one must then be 0 and this one is 1. Excellent. And then they said the page, let's just double check. and it starts at 1. That's fine. Do not display a page number on the last page. So let's go down and see what's going on here. Oh, very nice. They already put in a next page section break for us. Do you see how I see that? This one is section 1 and this one is section 2. So that's easy enough. If that hadn't been there, I'll just show you what they've done. I'll put this show hide on. They've put a next page break over here. If they didn't, you could have just added a next page break yourself. But they have, so that's not necessary. I'm going to go into the footer. I'm going to break the link to the previous one, because if it's still linked, it's going to delete everything if I delete this one now, because I don't want a page number here. So I'm going to break the link and then I can delete this one. Oh, come on. Without affecting the rest. There you go. 1.23. Insert a page border of your choice only on the second last page, the page containing the appendix. Okay, let's see how we're going to do that. Okay, so this is still section 1, and this is still section 1. So I'm going to have to make this a section on its own to be able to do that. Let's just double check quickly. Yeah, there isn't an option for last page of the section, so no, we'll have to do that. I'm going to go to layout, breaks, and insert a next page break, and then I'll just delete this unnecessary enter, and I press the delete button, not backspace. There's a difference. So now we have section 1 over here, and this is section 2. And then this one is section 3. Let's just check. Yes, that page number is still gone. All right, let's try putting the page border then. So I'm on the page that I want the page border, design, page borders, and did they say anything? Hey, of your choice. Okay, so I'll just put something funky to entertain them. And instead of applying it to the whole document, I just want to apply it to this single section. There you go. Nothing on the page before it and after it. Right, 124. Replace the date in the header with the current date in the format 29 August. The date must update automatically. Okay, so let's go in there, edit header. So at the moment it's just text, it seems, because it's not a field. So if I want to insert the current date, just double check, but I think they did say current date, yes. So it has to be the current date on whichever day you open it. So I'm just going to go to date and time, and they said they wanted in the format 29 August without the year. I'm going to have to change that afterwards. I'm going to say update automatically so that it shows the current date on any given day. Okay. I don't think it matters that it's not on the right, but just in case, I'll put it back to the right. And then I need to edit the field and remove the Y's so that the date will show in the format they've given us. There you go. I see the memo says it should have been double DM, triple 4 M's. I don't think that matters in this instance, because the only thing that happens with a single D is that if it's a single digit day, so like 9 or 8 or 7, then it will only show the one digit. But if it's a double digit day like 12 or 29, it will show both days anyway. So in this case, both would have been correct. 125. There are several places in the documents where the space bar was incorrectly pressed twice instead of once, resulting in 2 consecutive spaces between words. Use find and replace to correct all these spacing errors. Okay, so we go to Home tab, find and replace. We want to find double spaces and replace it with a single space. Replace all, 10. There you go. 126. Ensure that the whole document is free of spelling errors. Assume that there are no spelling errors in any of the tables. Okay, so I'm just going to stand anywhere and go to Review, Spelling and Grammar. That's a name, so that's obviously not a spelling error. That is spelled correctly according to South African language, but they didn't say. I'm just going to change that to be safe. That's definitely needed to be changed. Change. That's grammar. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to change that. That's not a table. That's only a text box. Hey, there you go. And that's word question 1 for you.